Man! What is it with people making bad games and taking government grants and making bad games and wasting my tax dollars? And European tax dollars. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Sweet Baby Inc. And then they found out because they're related projects and the studio.
Why the hell did it start at 20 minutes? God damn it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, boom.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So new year, same old Sweet Baby Inc. Because it took just one day for this woke consulting firm to find itself in its first set of controversies for the year 2025. Today we're going to be looking at two different situations that are very parallel to one another, where basically you have a company or studio who partner with Sweet Baby Inc. and then they found out because they're related projects and the studios themselves are now struggling mightily. Now, it is a new year, like I said, and I want to take this opportunity, just 30 seconds here to remind you guys that my limited edition Christmas drop with my wife, Darling Straub, and her VTuber model is still live for a little bit longer. You can see the art concept behind all of this, the wall art.
That was
you can
really
also
cute,
get these
not gonna
stickers
lie.
and these pajama pants.
They're
very cute
married,
stuff.
chat.
But on top of that, because it's a new year, and I know a lot of you guys are trying to improve your health and fitness, you're going to be going to the gym more. I can't recommend enough their flavor jars, especially their energy type flavor jars. You can see the new one, the peppermint vanilla. You can check out that one or other ones listed on their website, but it is a great alternative to pre-workout or coffee. It gives you the same energy boost without the crash or jitters that come with those other sources. And to keep it cool all day, we have these various ice shakers here. You can get the big jug or the regular ice shaker. I'll put a link to this in the pinned comment. And as always, make sure to use code REV
Shake them
at checkout to save 10% off your total order. Now let's get into the first story involving Sweet Baby. So we got here because of a report by Master of the TDS and his wife Raven Redgrave on their Gothic Therapy channel. I'll put a link to that.
That is really cute. Having a commentary channel with your wife. I don't know, like, so jealous. It's adorable.
That video in the description. You can check them out. But they made a discovery. They found another connection between a publisher and Sweet Baby Inc. Now, who is it?
Disturbing.
Well, unfortunately, it's Devolver.
No! No! Didn't they help make Red Dead Redemption? No. No, 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 no!
Digital, which is kind of a letdown for a lot of people. A lot of people like this publisher, but yeah, as you can see, they're caught up in the Sweet Baby mess. This is a publisher who has released a lot of big hits, including Cult of the Lamb, among others, but none of those hits, they pale in comparison to the latest banger here, The Crush House. This is going to be the game we're talking.
This looks like a corporate. I don't know what it is, like a corporate meta ad. Just in the first 2 seconds, like my brain turned off. I was like, what is this?
About today, you can see this is modern audience approved, okay? The bright colors, the ugly character designs, the forced diversity, and on and on and on. And you can see just in the background, I mean, this is all makes sense, right? Not only the game itself, but also the people, the influencers.
Where are you watching people kiss, man?
Influencers they got to promote this. It's just the usual suspects. But anyways, this is the description. Film and produced 1999's hottest reality TV show, The Crush House. Select a crush-worthy cast.
Why have we freaking zoomed into their butt?
Satisfy voracious audiences and keep the show on air to uncover the sinister secrets behind this darkly comic thirst person shooter.
Thirst
person shooter. Very interesting phrase there. But yeah, pretty much everything associated with this game is very...
This was definitely a stylistic decision.
Very strange and cringe, as you can see by this video playing in the background here. But on top of that, they have their own account on Twitter. They're releasing stuff like this. Let me just play this for a few seconds.
Rating the Crush House kissing animations. Elegant kiss.
You couldn't... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna not say anything. Hold on.
Regular kiss.
Yeah, you get it, right? This looks like it was produced by TikTok itself. It's very cringe. On top of that, this
I am failing to understand the point of this. No, I'm failing to understand the premise.
game and its developers have a weird obsession with something called dog milk, which is a very subtle innuendo they're going for here. In fact, they're so obsessed with this, they actually paid influencers on TikTok to make this. They paid.
Oh, that's where the money's going. Oh, it's not going into the game. Or the devs writing, or the paying good writers, or have good ideas. We're doing influencers. Right.
Paid influencers like this. It's a paid partnership to make this dog milk monstrosity. Very strange stuff. But when you start looking around and realizing the connection to Sweet Baby, it all makes sense, right? And here is the connection that was discovered. It involves this person, Maxine Sophia Wolf, who is a transgender writer and narrative designer at Sweet Baby Inc. Now, this is the image from our source video here. This is the connection, a LinkedIn post where they say they liked working on the narrative design of this wild game, referring to the Crush House, of course. And yeah, that's really about it. You got the connection there. And now you think, what happened? How did this game perform? Oh no.
Well, clearly the writing wasn't very good. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do these people sustain themselves and have jobs? Who pays them? Like, if I did a poor job at streaming, I'd have to at least go back to my old job where I had to make money. I don't understand how people get away with this.
No.
And they probably live in high-income areas where you have to have a lot of money to live.
They got modern audience. Yes, 8 in-game players as we speak, despite this game only coming out.
Peaking at 209, damn. I wonder how much it cost.
A few months ago. There is the modern audience. This game was made for them, and that's what you get. It's a very disappointing number, I'm sure. It's kind of strange, too, because they put a lot of investment into promoting this game. They had a lot of influencers trying to promote this game. It seems like they put a...
Well, Diablo 4 did the same thing. The game is garbage to an extent, and it's like a lot of... How do I say it? It's a pile of dog shit that was covered up very nicely in like a haze of like, oh, this might be a good game once you get into it. And then you get to the end and you're like, this is a pile of dog shit. They also paid a lot of influencers to promote their game instead of investing it into the game and making it playable, stopping the crashes. I remember there was a problem with VTubers streaming the game because there was some sort of like driver incompatibility issue where if you had VTube Studio like running, it would crash the game eventually because of I think it was a memory leak. Actually, it was a memory leak. It's okay now. No, don't kid yourself. Do not kid yourself and say it's okay. Diablo 4 is not okay.
Pretty big effort and budget into that, and it just did not pan out. And you can see the downfall was very quick. Okay, they had their peak on day 1 at 362 players, and within a month, it was down to around 20. And it's completely flatlined at this point. We might see a little resurgence here because people are starting to talk about this game. Maybe some people will play it to make fun of it.
Yeah, Dustborn did that too. Yeah, Dustborn surged a little bit because people were interested in it.
Who knows? That's something that happens, but this is a very curious case and a very bad look for Sweet Baby Inc. because a lot of people blame, YouTubers and people on social media for ruining these Sweet Baby related projects because they tell everyone don't play.
Yeah, Pipkin Pippa said that Dustborn sucks, therefore she influenced a bunch of people to not play the game. This is what's mind-blowing to me. If the clientele or the audience that you're targeting doesn't like your game, it doesn't influence them to buy the game if you tell them that the game isn't bad. You should be trying to influence your target demographic that will play your game, and clearly there wasn't a turnout. That's the issue. I've heard this many times of like VTubers who are small or they're starting out. They say, "Oh, well, what if someone doesn't like my content? They keep shitting on me." It's like, well, you're not going to convince them otherwise to come to your stream. Just keep doing what you do and you will find your audience that will want to watch you. Unless you suck and you have to improve.
The game, or they reveal the connection and people refuse to support the game. But in this case, that excuse doesn't work because nobody knew about this until literally yesterday. So they failed on their own based on the quality of the game. People just didn't want to tune in. So basically that sweet baby kiss of death, the mark of death that comes with being associated with Sweet Baby, even when it's hidden, it still shows itself in other ways. And this is just proof of that. People don't like anything associated with them. And even the quality that comes out, it's pretty obvious it's something that's influenced by Sweet Baby or other woke consulting firms. Now, also the same person...
I would be a hypocrite. DBD did have Sweet Baby Inc. work on it. But I like to believe that it wasn't that influential. Because, like, obviously, there was a lot of things that people don't like about DBD. But overall, the game itself was actually really fun. I don't know about now. Now it's like, it's not that great. But... Alan Wake as well. It's just something about it that people seem to overreact and say like, oh, consulting firms are the reason that these games suck. It's like, no, if the game sucks, people will blame it on Sweet Baby Inc. There's obviously an influence that Sweet Baby Inc. has, but you can overcome that if the game is fun and good and there's good writing, or at least decent writing. Then you will find your audience.
This narrative designer over at Sweet Baby, they would also make a couple other tweets.
Oh yeah, and Alan Wake also wasn't on Steam, which was a massive, massive mistake. I will never understand why they went exclusive. So dumb.
Saying that they were one of the people involved with Alan Wake. They worked with Remedy Games, which, by the way, is a commercial failure, despite the fact that Sweet Baby tries to tout this as a huge, successful partnership. They haven't even sold enough units to start collecting royalties. EA has not gotten its number yet, so they quite literally are dead in the water. They haven't made a single dollar on this game yet, despite selling well over 1 million units. On top of that, she also...
That's another thing, that there's so much money that goes into the game that shouldn't be going into certain things. The consulting firms take so much money, according to rumors. I can't validate this, obviously. This is just like rumors and sources from hearsay. But millions of dollars to like consult. Oh, you should put a character like this in because then it'll fulfill the criteria of meeting the story narrative design that we have put forth on your video game. Otherwise, your game will fail. It's like, that's not true. It's not how it works, man.
Mentions here that she was someone who worked with Rocksteady Games on Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. We know that, okay. Cost Warner Bros. Hundreds of millions of dollars.
$200 million.
Relevant to that, this was announced recently that PlayStation is now introducing Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League to the PlayStation Plus monthly games.
The $2.99 sale was not enough. We're introducing it into the free bundle because we're... Man, that is a death knell if I've ever heard.
For January.
Yeah.
Ouch. It has been literally less than a year since this game released, and it's already in the PlayStation Plus group here for January.
This actually reminds me. There was that Indiana Jones game that was going around on Twitter as well that was like, this is owning the trust. This game is amazing. But it was literally free to play because it came with like the new NVIDIA graphics card. And I'm like, but that's not paying customers. It's like a bundle deal where it doesn't actually make them money. And so the numbers are inflated. Like, maybe it's a half-decent game, but you're not exactly owning anyone. Oh, it was on Game Pass as well? Yeah, like, it's a AAA $60 game, but it came free with NVIDIA, and it was on Xbox Pass. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's a good game or not. I haven't seen it for myself 100%. Like, I've only watched people play it for a little bit. It looked very stale and generic.
Again, their servers, their live service aspect of their game will be shutting down next month. So that was an absolute disaster. So now while we're here talking about Sweet Baby, let's cover another situation that was covered by Smash JT about 4 days ago. He made this article and a related video on this topic. I'll put a link to his video in the description as well if you want to check out his channel. But I want to cover this because it's another Sweet Baby disaster, another Sweet Baby kiss of death. So here is the headline: Reeling Sweet Baby Inc. partner Heart Machine begs for survival on Patreon. That is the look of the average person who...
Oh, I thought they needed a heart machine, and I was about to feel really, really bad. I'm like, oh, you're dying? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I hope you get help with your heart machine. I really thought for a minute I was gonna feel really bad. I was like, damn, that sucks. I hope you get that heart machine, sir. Yeah, no, it's actually like their studio or whatever, right? Yeah.
Worked with Sweet Baby, just completely crushed, soul crushed by the results of that partnership. But as he says here, I mentioned Heart Machine a few weeks back because their studio was on the verge of falling apart after mass layoffs, and oh boy, it hasn't gotten any better at all. Known for...
Why should we feel bad for you when you hate gamers and you make games that gamers don't want to play, which is your target demographic? I will never understand that. Ever. Why do you do that? Why do you do it to yourself and then blame the chuds or whatever, the white male gamers, when they don't give you money to sustain you to keep the studio going? How is that your fault? It's the basics of economics. If you make a shit product, it's not the customer's fault. It's your shit product that you should fix.
Titles like Hyper Light Drifter and Solar
Wait, I thought this is hair. This isn't tattoo. This is hair, right, chat?
Ash. Their recent move to launch
That's
Patreon
hair, chat.
has
Come
left
on.
many fans feeling betrayed, and the reasons are pretty obvious as to why.
It's a tattoo. No, shut up. Get out. No.
With their struggles are real and their passion for game development is clearly undeniable, the overall response from the entire gaming community has been overwhelmingly skeptical, and for good reason. So as we can see here, the connection was made with the Sweet Baby website here. They listed it back in the day, and you can see that they worked on Hyperlight, and that connection was something that really damaged the studio, who, like Smash JT said, they seem like they're passionate and they actually enjoy what they're doing, but man, they just weren't doing the right things, I guess, and one of those...
And again, just make a good game and people will buy it. There's been so many indie games that have died until they finally made a successful version. Pal World, the studio that made Pal World, they had 2 failing games that nobody ever heard of, and they kept making games until they came up with Pal World, and now they're in a lawsuit with Nintendo, but that's neither here nor there, and they're getting bullied. But they made a good game. If you're truly passionate about it, you shouldn't blame the gamers. You should be like, fuck, like, maybe I should make something else. If you really want to move on, that's your prerogative, but you should never blame your target audience, the people that will buy your games. It's like blaming people that buy food. It's like, it's from your restaurant. It's like, yeah, they're gonna criticize you if your fucking food sucks.
Wrong decisions was partnering with Sweet Baby. The DEI connection was not worth it. It really hurt some momentum they had, and now you have this person...
And I truly do not believe that the average person that sees a game on a shelf or sees a game on Steam or sees their favorite streamer play a game and enjoy it goes out of their way to go and find out if it's made by Sweet Baby Inc. and then not play it because it's Sweet Baby Inc. I don't think the average Joe Schmo consumer does that. I truly don't believe that.
coming on and talking to their audience about this. And you can see Heart Machine is not in a good place.
I'm Alex, and I run Heart Machine.
That sucks.
We're here to talk about Patreon. So, state of the industry, not great right now.
Games for you. We have to preface the for you.
The greatest form of expression that humans have ever created. There's a common saying in development that it's a miracle that any games are made at all, let alone good ones. And now, it's even more brutal. Over the past 2 years, the industry has rapidly changed, flipped around and turned upside down. Funding for new projects is sparse, even for successful developers. Everything is far more expensive to make. Paths we used to be able to take to create projects no longer exist. You've likely heard about this on some front. It's grim. 30%.
Okay, you get the point. He'll go on to say
that was a whole lot of whining for a whole lot of, you're not buying my games, I can't make money off of it. I could name so many indie games that had failed games before they got their like pop off, their recognition. So many people, like Lethal Company. That guy made like Roblox. I think he made like Roblox mods or whatever before he started making video games. Or was it FNAF? I can't remember, but they just make stuff for the love of it. Yeah, it was mods. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's like, what are you doing? You clearly have no passion for it.
I just played it for a second to give you guys kind of the vibe of Alex here, and it's grim. Okay, this is not exuding confidence, and that's why it's relevant to the Patreon itself, because yes, it makes sense for content creators to have a Patreon. Like I have one. One of my goals for 2025 is to revamp my Patreon and get some good rewards in there and to work on that a bit. But for content creators, you know, people pay towards your Patreon for small benefits as well as just using as a tip jar to support creators you like.
Yep,
but when you're a studio relying on Patreon to basically keep the lights on, that's a different story. That makes people really skeptical because there's no guarantee. People are giving money over in a sense, as a promise. They're given a promise that a game might happen. And if they don't get the money, obviously the game's not going to be complete. So I think people are very rightfully skeptical of what...
This reminds me of 2014 to 2016 when Kickstarters were a thing. And people got scammed out of money back then. That's what this reminds me of.
What's going on with this Patreon, and it really did not generate any goodwill. And people are now wondering if this is actually going to be contributing anything towards the game development itself. But yeah, the comments, oof, they're brutal. They are absolutely brutal. Let's read a few of them. Ask the modern audience to support you. Damn, working with Sweet Baby Inc. didn't help much.
Look at that profile picture. It's like this, where is it? It's the Pepe Frog smoking and blowing cigar smoke in your face. That's what it reminds me of. Or Rip Bozo. That's a strong profile picture. No, not this one. It's Rip Bozo. Blowing
ask
smoke.
Kim Belair to help you. Don't ask normal people for money. Ask the people who you cater to. A company hating its customer base runs into financial problems. Shocking. Ask Sweet Baby to refund their consultancy fees. Having Sweet Baby on board obviously didn't support sales, but you knew this, and saying you didn't makes you incompetent.
I mean, this is the equivalent of a streamer that doesn't stream and basically doesn't put out the content that... This happens a lot. A streamer, for example, pivots their content to something like 900% like completely different, or they try out something completely new and then they try to stick with it. And then the audience that they cultivated leaves, and then they get mad at them and are like, what the fuck, man? I thought you guys were supporting me no matter what. I'm gonna open a Patreon, and you guys need to, like, support me, because, like, I'm dying out here. And it's like the audience's fault, and, like, nobody's coming to my streams anymore, bro. Yeah, DSP is a really good example of that. Exactly.
It's wild to me that you are actually asking for us to pay for you to make games for us to buy.
You're double whammy.
Ran with the wrong crowd, huh? And one last one here. The industry didn't change. Gamers still like good games. It's developers like you who decided the current audience doesn't suit your vision and started making games to an audience that doesn't exist. Very well said. The comments absolutely eviscerating Heart Machine here, and for good reason. Overall, just reflecting on these two situations and Sweet Baby, and we're in a new year now, so we can have a re-examination of what's going on. Companies like Sweet Baby and other consultation services like them, they exist to force diversity into games. And turns out 95% of players don't consider inclusivity important in gaming.
Because 95% of the players that launch their game are like dads and moms that just want to play a game. They don't read articles about how amazing it is that they included, I don't know, like a freaking disabled fucking VTuber woman in their video game just for the sake of including it. If it doesn't fit the story, it doesn't fit the story. Why are you doing this? No one cares.
What a shocker. Yeah, turns out the activists on places like Twitter and Blue Sky, they don't actually play the games or support these games, and they don't represent the average gamer. Average gamers don't care. They're not angry about diversity existing naturally in games. They're annoyed when it's very clearly forced, and that is literally the point of Sweet Baby Inc. They are there to force diversity, and it somehow is not clear, despite all of the failures of Sweet Baby partners, all the criticism launched towards that consultation group, it's just not clear to these developers, and they keep going back for more. And unfortunately,
it'll become clear later,
are in development for years. Some of the people might just be screwed at this point.
And I don't think Concord died because of like an insane forced inclusivity. It's that Sony approved of this and said, yeah, this is what gamers want. This is what gamers believe, because that's what they're crying about on Twitter. And we believe Twitter more than people who actually play the game. And look what happened and what turned out to happen. The gamers didn't show up because A, the game sucked. B, the game was expensive. It wasn't free to play, which was really fucking stupid considering all FPS shooters are free now, basically. Like Overwatch and all that. But like the whole the pronouns and everything, that was like a side thing. Nobody cared about that. The game just freaking sucked.
They made a deal with the devil. They partnered up with Sweet Baby maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago to work on their game, and now their game's releasing in 2025, and that connection's going to be discovered, even though they might regret that connection. Well, guess what? People are going to discover it, and they're not going to trust the game, and they're just not going to want to flat out support anything that's associated with Sweet Baby or any of their ilk. I mean, at this point, the formula is so simple. Right? The formula is so simple to make a good game. Just make it functional, somewhat fun, and then maybe throw in a cute anime girl. Okay?
No.
Boom. You're going to be breaking records.
Oh god, oh shit, oh fuck. Oh, hot women, hot men in my video games? Hot men in my mobile games? There's that Menhara mobile game with hot men in it. Clearly it has an audience because it makes $50 million a month.
At this point. I know I'm being a bit glib about it, but like that's the
glib?
truth.
What's that?
Just make something decent and decently enjoyable and with appealing designs of characters and the atmosphere overall of the game. It doesn't take that much, but these people in the industry, they're so lost in the sauce. They're making absolute slop. And then they're trying to also get you to pay for your own games or the development of your own game, of their games, and then you have to turn around and then pay for the game again. It's mind-boggling.
Crazy.
I mean, we live in an environment right now where you have games like Miside, absolutely.
I'm gonna say something very softly political. This game was made by 2 Russians in a basement, and people still love this game and adore it, and it's all over Twitter, and the war has not been brought up because it's a good game. There are obviously schizos that bring it up and start to try and like make it like about politics, But it's just two dudes that love anime, and they were supposed to make a horror game, and it turned out to be somehow a dating sim game that people really, really love. But not a fucking damn word about how Russian's bad, or it's like, oh, it's about the war. Like, you can't buy this game because it's about a war. It's because it's a fucking good game. No one gives a fuck. Overwatch, the same thing. Overwatch used to be a good game. They had a deal with the Saudis to remove, House Tracer's gay in their esports version of the game. And people didn't bat an eye. People glossed over it. Obviously, there were people crying out on Twitter about how it's horrible, but ultimately, no one cares if money talks. Oh yeah, it's Soldier 76, but you get my point. They took out gay characters out of the game to cater to an audience, but they don't care because the game is good. You keep the slop, the piggies happy. You feed them slop. The slop is fun. It's good. It's stimulating, and the pigs keep coming back. They don't care.
Absolutely crushing it. You had two Russian dudes who made this game, and all it really took for that was having a functional, fun game with some cute anime girls in it to add a little cherry on top. And look at it. It's crushing major AAA releases. I mean, Veil.
Chat, major AAA release, two dudes in a basement. What would you rather play? Raiders? What would you rather play? Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome.
Guard is completely getting squashed by Misade. It's embarrassing. And the worst part of it all is that you know these developers are going to learn nothing. They're not going to learn anything from this.
No, it's the chuds.
They're not going to learn the benefits of having appealing character designs. They're not going to learn that players are sick of forced diversity. They're just going to do it again and again until eventually their doors shut down. And nobody will feel sorry for them when that happens. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Making a video game about a cute woman? Ugh, those damn fuckers. Chat, they made their bed and now they don't want to sleep in it, chat. Yep, that's what happens. Clappies. Cute crazy anime woman. Yeah, it's kind of like me. It's kind of based. Kind of based.